Hello, welcome Jay and Vera to Riverside Radio. It's lovely to have you here.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, you're absolute dream.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And so you are both starring in 222, a ghost story. You're going to be at Richmond Theatre very soon. So can you just tell us a little bit about the play and your characters?
Yes, the play is set during a dinner party at night, and the host of the dinner party, Jenny, and her husband and their baby, Jenny believes that there is a ghost that haunts their house at 2:22 in the morning. So our characters, Lauren and Ben, arrive at this dinner party. We eat, we drink a little bit too much. We argue about whether or not we believe if creepy things are really happening in the house. And as creepy things do start to happen, it's up to the audience to decide what they think is going on before, boom, you find out at the end.
I mean, it sounds so exciting.
Yeah. It's super fun. It's not too scary. We play a couple, so that's already hilarious.
Well, I was going to say, because the idea of putting you both as a couple is quite a genius one, because you've both got a lot in common anyway. So I know that you both do writing and you've both done acting as well. So did that kind of help with making the characters gel together as well?
For sure, but I think like us four as a cast and the crew, we all get on so well. It's surprising. This is like one of the nicest, if not the nicest job I've ever been on. And I think that kind of that chemistry and that ensemble feel really feeds the show, because you can really get into the joyful laughter, but also the
needling
when you know people really well, you're like,
yeah.
how to annoy them.
So it sounds like it's been like a lot of fun to work together. And how have you found the audiences as you've travelled across the country? Have you noticed any differences with the audiences? Is there a different vibe each night?
Oh my God, for sure. Like, it depends on where we are in the country, what the majority class is, like what jokes they laugh at. So for example, I think we were in Cambridge and they were laughing at jokes to do with Essex. You know, like little tiny details like that bring us joy and make it really specific to the audience. Jay plays a working class Cockney geezer type.
Ben the Builder.
Going out
for a
I'm loving hearing that builder accent coming from Jay.
Oh my God, it's so cute. Like some audiences, especially if they're young performing arts students, they get so vocal and so into it.
The audience is like a third character, because when you're building tension,
extra character.
Yeah, you and me are the only important ones, and then the audience. Having that audience that is on the edge of their seat and then screaming or laughing, it adds to the pace of the show. It obviously injects you with energy, but it becomes part of the rhythm, and every night is different.
Yeah,
always addictive. Hearing people in their seats when the lights go down during scene changes, and hearing them like tapping their friends, and be like, "Oh, did you see that? Like, what do you think this trick was?" Like, it's so. It's got such.
I mean, how scary are we talking? Am I going to be having to grab somebody next to me?
You can use it as an excuse to grab something. It's not proper scary. It's fun scary.
Yeah. I don't think it's terrifying, but I think it's just spooky. And then that's why the comedy always comes in, because people feel tense and then their nervous laughter happens.
And like, I get still sort of tingly and like standing on end when I watch, you know, my colleagues perform. There's definitely creepy moments, but it's not terrifying. It's fairly family friendly. We've had grannies and we've got young ones coming to watch the show.
Yeah, I think this is the great thing. It's going to bring together a lot of different audiences as well. Now, you've both been very successful in different fields. So we know, of course, Vera, you've done Hollyoaks. Jay, you've been in The Wanted. But what was it about being in 222 that made you want to say yes to this project?
I watched the show, it must be over 6 months ago now, and I was on the edge of my seat. I sat with my manager and had no idea what was going to happen, and was so bowled over, and I just grabbed him at the end and said, "Get me an audition, I need to be in this." I just thought it was so much fun, and it just really grabbed me. So I'm so grateful that I even got into it, and being in it has been everything I'd hoped and more, because we're a nice small crew and cast. So you get to know each other really well, you get to know the text really well, and you get to know how to tweak with the audience emotions. It's really fun.
What's it been like kind of getting in front of the theatre crowd? And so I know you did theatre before, but this is kind of, so this will be the first one, Jay, with you kind of doing straightforward acting, is that right? And
That's right.
And Vera, of course, I know you've done that before. So have you kind of how have you found that experience to be just doing the sort of straightforward acting all the way through?
I have loved it. I think that you get to spend so much more time with the script in rehearsal when you're not having to run off and learn your harmonies and sing and dance and all that. So that was just great, and it also meant that the four of us that played the four dinner party guests got super tight, super quick, and got to know each other really well. That was awesome. I really enjoy it, and I think the fact that it's not it's not a stuffy play. It's a play that's really accessible to all different kinds of people, which is good because all different kinds of people know all of our different work for different reasons. So they can all get into a house together, sit together, and be a squad, the evening theatre squad.
You know what's really different? Well, any screen thing, you don't have the direct relationship with the audience. So this is a joy. We get to see the audience, we get to hear them, we feed off their energy, we give them energy. It's such a wonderful relationship. But also, I think this is special in terms of compared to all the other theatre I've done before. One, it's such a well-crafted play to be entertaining and accessible. And I think it might be the most accessible show I've done. And also, it is probably the one character I've played that is not Chinese, you know, and so I'm playing a human being that's like fully rounded, and that's such a rare thing for an actor of color still to this day. So that it's I really am grateful to get to play Lauren.
And Vera, are you hoping that that will kind of help towards change in theatre casting in the sense of having that representation?
Yeah, 100%. I think if people see someone on stage, they go, "Oh, it is possible." So it might not be conscious, but they're like, "Oh, right, you can." You know what's amazing? That all the female presenting performers in 222 are people of color. That's never happened before, I don't think, in a sort of commercial theater where it's not like race specific. This is like groundbreaking, and it sort of just opens doors in people's minds and like hopefully in a practical way as well.
Yeah, and I guess even in the sense of having a working class character as well in there's quite a lot of representation going on. It does sound really fascinating. Could you just share with us as a final thought your favourite part of working together?
Okay, you go first.
Okay.
Or do you want to?
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, just like specifically for Jay, I love one, how naturally talented Jay is, but also Jay, every show, and I think you need to do this as a theatre performer. You're so present and so alive, and you work hard without it being labored. And the choices you make second to second, it feels like it's real, you know? And there's so much heart and groundedness, and your comic timing is like amazing. So Jay is a pleasure to watch.
Can you mark my CV?
I have to like, it has to be a bit annoyed with it. It's harder because I'm like, oh my God, you're so good. To be like, "What's with you?"
What's fun, what's very similar then is when we're acting, it's different every night because it's like the shape of it can be whatever we want it to be. And so sometimes we'll genuinely be a little bit more of a contentious couple, and sometimes we're more of a flirty couple or a romantic couple. But every night I look over, and if I want to, I can be like, I'm a bit more annoyed at her today, and then we'll do that. And then sometimes we'll be like more affectionate, and it's just you've got so much room to play, and it's like the show becomes a sandbox for you to push and pull things around and find new stuff, and it means it never gets boring. Even though we're zooming around and around the country doing a lot of shows a week, 8 shows is pretty a lot, but there's still new things to be found around every corner, and that's because she's round the other corner waiting to jump out.
It takes a lot of skill and generosity to be that kind of actor who's really present and supportive. Yeah. Thank you.
It sounds like teamwork is making the dream work, really. Yeah. So good luck with the play and the rest of the tour, and just remind us.
See the show.
Yes, so we can see it at Richmond Theatre. I believe it's the 26th of March. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
That's World Theatre Day. Yes.
27th of March is World Theatre Day.
You can just see you two getting along so well. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely magical when we come to watch the play, which we will do very, very soon. Thank you so much for being on Riverside Radio. It's been lovely to have you, Jay and Vera. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Bye. Riverside.